about Sbarro having some major problems. So hopefully turn this around and give us some real good news about your company.
Well, I mean, it's great news. I don't know if you had a chance. Look, we just announced today we entered a relationship with a company in South Florida to help us really sell franchise in the Latino market, and not just in Miami-Dade and Broward counties, as well as across across the United States, where we have our presence, of course, in the master development area. So it's a very exciting news. And they're a proven company. This company been around for many years, and they helped other franchisees like Subways and Quiznos and ice cream and frozen yogurt chain to grow, not just domestic, but not just here in Miami, practically all over. So we're excited with that opportunity, and hopefully we will see some results pretty soon. As just like we signed an agreement, as I said, in Nashville, the restaurant hopefully will open in this year, probably toward the fourth quarter of 2015, and there's a lot of excitement going on. I've just been traveling. I was in Cincinnati looking at sites. I was in Kentucky again, looking at a bunch of sites, and actually traveling later on this evening to Cleveland to do the same. And some exciting things. Hopefully we'll meet some folks up there, and we'll get the franchise going in 2015. So we have a lot of excitement, a lot of people looking at us, and we've been invited to travel practically everywhere, which is I'm making my plan for this quarter, of course, and next quarter. So those are exciting time so far, and in our growth plan, hopefully that's great news for our company. And as you all aware, the last 2-3 months we've really been refining our demographic and looking at our concept, making a bunch of changes on our menu with the help of Dr. Paul Aoun to steer us into the healthy aspect, healthy and tasty, which is we're right there. We had a reform. Healthy and tasty, which is we're right there. We had reformulate some of the menu items, as I said, and we get our almost 7, or probably we're looking at number 8 grilled product manufactured in Tampa to secure the flavor profile and make sure create consistency across our restaurant. So these are some exciting things happening in the last 2-3 weeks moving forward. And of course we're looking at sites just similar to our location in Miami, where have all the business client, male and female, focusing on the health aspect, and the calorie count probably by mid of next month. So by April 15, we'll be able to announce most of our calorie count on our menu, and that's going to be some exciting news and eye-opener for our consumers.
And, of course, MSG-free?
MSG, and probably 90% of our food all gluten-free.
Wow.
Most of all our sauces are gluten-free, and the 8 products I mentioned, or 7 products we produce for the Grill It, they're all MSG-free and gluten-free, which is marination, rice mix, spices for steaks and beans, our own teriyaki sauce, our own chipotle sauce. It's an amazing line, and at some point probably we will venture into creating a smaller package to be sold at the restaurant or other plan for it. So that's we have been in the test for about 3 months or so, and we're getting a lot of great review, and so some exciting stuff on that particular piece will come hopefully soon, next 2 to 3 weeks.
How is the sodium content of these things?
We're very low sodium content, And of course, when we release a calorie count, everything salt. We use sea salt, which is we'll use very little just to create a little bit of a flavor. Most of our marination are, citrus based. With citrus, we don't need a lot of sodium, so very careful, with that process.
Yeah, my wife has been, and they put her on a very low sodium diet, and it just amazes me how much sodium there is. Not even so much in the processed foods like ham and turkey and that kind of stuff, but even in things that appear to be healthy, like some of the higher end canned soups, like Progresso. I mean, I'm looking at the content now and seeing things like even the Progressive Minestrone, which is a pretty healthy blend. It's 2 servings per can, and the sodium is 690 milligrams per serving.
You betcha.
So, you eat a can of soup, and you've used up 3/4 of the day's sodium input
Yep.
that, you should be taking.
And what amazes me, Charles, that you're saying that, because, Ghazi, I know you've seen the new Subway ads.
Yeah, the rubber, the yoga mat. Actually, every one of them.
But the ones with the Fritos, and you think, well, now wait a minute. You're putting it's supposedly this operation was started by a bunch of doctors, and you're sitting there putting Fritos in a sandwich. I mean, I just don't understand where they're taking all of that. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
It remind me of the story back in, I think the fair in Minnesota, where they sell actually fried butter sticks.
Mention that. I was a judge at our St. Lucie County Fair Foods last week, and there was a guy that was there, and ironically, he was from Minnesota, and he had fried everything. I mean, it was unbelievable. Luckily, we didn't have to go by his booth, but yeah, it is truly amazing to see stuff like that. But I think the important thing is when do you think your calorie count is going to be out there for the public?
It will be, I will project it to be on or before April 15th. Just to give you a peak, our main dish, we sell well over 50% of, which is we call the grill it on, which is coming in with yellow rice, of course, chicken, lettuce, tomatoes, and that particular dish have just a little bit over between 550 to 570 calories. A big meal, almost 8.5 ounces of rice with chicken, lettuce, and tomatoes, and still well below 600 calories.
Wow!
And so that's really exciting for us. And that lead me into the expansion of the health concept. As we mentioned before, we have a relationship with Gaucho Ranch, which is basically 100% organic, no hormones, and we're selling it in our restaurant, Lake Steak, as well as New York Strip, and this steak is amazing, taking off, and created really sales increase, not just on the sale part of it, as overall kind of helped us change the look, and that lead me into really moving into that's what we want to try to do moving forward, which we will send a bunch of announcements next couple of weeks. We're creating a holding company, which is Healthy and Tasty brand, to hold the Gaucho Ranch, which we have interest in. We will, of course, hold the grilling as well. So we'll continue to grow and get relationship with Healthy Concept to complement what coming out and regarding again, the healthy and tasty brands, as well as the vision, because now we know our menu is healthy. We're almost 95% there. We age is no limit on that piece, and of course, people are looking for different things. We had yesterday, we're doing a little bit of survey in the restaurant, and people, they're coming in, I guess, from Canada. There was some kind of tournament in the area, and they were amazed the flavor of multiple food, and they said, we can't believe it's healthy and tastes awesome. So so we really feel good in our position right now. And again, our healthy and tasty brand will be our holding company, and we're going to continue looking for other opportunity or invest in other healthy segment and try to bring it into the fold for, to continue the growth of the brand.
We were talking about this before about, you're going into a lot of college areas too, which I would think would be absolutely phenomenal, and in smaller stores that would be mostly takeout, I think would be phenomenal. When you're talking about it virtually, it's almost all organic, which I think is amazing. And having actually tasted your dishes, it really, really tasteful. I mean, it's you're onto something. You're really onto something. You just got to keep getting that word out.
Gusty, just a quick question. Is there a reason why you are looking for more locations in the East than in the West?
Not really, because our relationship with most of our relationship is based in in and around the southeast and the northeast area. Actually, we're venturing toward California. We have a bunch of people kicking tires. I'm planning probably go to California to late April, something in April and May. People who own multiple business over there, and they've shown some interest in at least exploring opportunity with the girls, as well as Texas, state of Texas. We have, again, a couple of people kicking tires.
Yeah.
So we start focusing a little bit toward the west. Of course, nothing in Vegas yet. But
in between Texas and California, there's Las Vegas, and you have somebody who's really sold on the concept in Las Vegas, well connected. Meaning Mike, of course.
Of course.
It just makes so much sense to me where you have massive numbers. I mean, just from the marketing standpoint, you have massive numbers of people who or may not want to go to, Joe's Stone Crab in Caesars or the Capitol Grill and want something good and fast and reasonably priced. And then, of course, they leave and they go home to all over the country. So, it just seems to me like, in theory, if you could get people who travel in and out of a place, I mean, I hate to put it quite this way.
It's natural. You're absolutely right.
I don't want to put it this way, but it's the only thing that I can think of as far as this dispersal. It's like when somebody goes on a cruise ship and they get sick, and then all of a sudden there are people sick in Colorado and California and Nebraska, because those are the places that they go back to. And I just think most people would consider this such a positive experience from the standpoint of cost and speed and quality and healthiness that, you could, if you're in a specific spot where you get access to all of these people completely across the nation and, in fact, internationally, it just seems like that would make a whole lot of sense.
Sure. Oh, yeah. And just knowing a lot of the places, of course, I was in television in Tucson for a while and thinking of possible locations, that are relatively close to downtown and the University of Arizona. And, even Tempe, Arizona, you think about the ASU thing. And I just think there's so much potential, Ghazi, with your company, just because of the quality of what you're going to be offering people, and you're going to get return business is a lock.
I agree. I'll promise you when I plan the California trip, I'll make sure swing by to see if meet some of your folks down and see if there's any interest in franchising. I'll spend 2, 3, 4 days, whatever it takes, to meet some of the people, and hopefully we can create some interest for people to explore some opportunity with growth in Vegas. I'd love you in Vegas.
Yeah,
I'd
like
love
Charles
to be
said, you stop by and I'll introduce you.
Yeah, definitely. I'm trying.
You should definitely have us in Vegas.
You know, we have a lot of presence from our previous company in Arizona. So those are, everything's on the board right now. It just kind of, how we're going to grow. So 2015, I believe, is going to be really a good year for us in expansion. And most important, exploring our healthy and tasty brand. And looking forward for the next 2.5 weeks with a bunch of announcements, creating some interest around, our health aspect of the business, about the vision and all that stuff. So really excited with what's coming in, and there's a lot of work behind the scene is being put into this, and hopefully, we'll create interest and income for just for growth for our shareholders as well.
Very good.
Okay, let's talk about the stock. Speaking of shareholders, what's she looking like now, Charles?
We opened, I think, right? I don't know if you...
It's the initial stages of a company. It's a good time to get involved. And how many shares are outstanding, roughly?
Total shares under 37 million. Which the announcement was made a while back, reduced down to 37 million shares. Total shares.
It's not too many shares.
No. And we're moderately traded. I mean, the volume is very moderate, and we're holding our own. With I think with a bunch of announcement coming up, the market will react favorably, and so that's really what we're looking for. Most of the time, just focusing on the business plan of the company, focusing on, dealing with the other company, hopefully to bring it to the fore like we did with the Gaucho Ranch and create solid ground. That's really what my focus and, my expertise come in. The market is a market. The market will take care of itself, and I'm just... again, we'll get the company stronger, introducing the healthy and tasty brands as we grow to 2015, and we're pretty excited. We're excited about our position right now, and we'll share with you our plan as soon as we start rolling it out. We have a lot of things coming up soon.
What's kind of intriguing to me is the fact that, guys, we've all seen over the last 3, 4 years, the growth of like Whole Foods, the grocery chain, and you think that at least now more and more people around the USA are thinking that way, and that's why I think anyone who really goes in and starts eating at your restaurants, MSG free, the low sodium, and gluten free. That's phenomenal.
And the variety of our menu. We have some customers come in 2 and 3 times a week. They eat salad one day, second day they eat chicken breast or chicken thigh, and the third day they eat steaks. It depends what. What flavor they're in. So we really, and each flavor is really healthy, and again, it's controllable. The calorie count is really very manageable with an amazing flavor. So not just the repeat customers, the frequency, that's what we have seen for the last, since we opened, the frequency of the customer churn, and really we're excited. This year, of course, we'll announce sale. We've been since we introduced the steak, our revenue's been up. Our ticket average is amazing since we introduced the new menu. Our customer having a really very, very fulfilling, healthy, and tasty meal. It's not like a skimpy meal when you eat, 8.5 ounces of rice plus, lettuce, tomatoes, and 4 or 5 ounces of chicken. That's a pretty healthy lunch for under $7.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's phenomenal. Well, gosh, good luck to you. I still can't believe you're going to Cleveland on purpose, but but that's home for you, though, right?
Yeah, it is
Ohio
home. It's really
yeah.
lovely Cleveland, and I have a bunch of friends that have a chance to see them in the evening, but definitely is full with with a bunch of business meetings, mostly focused downtown and around Cleveland Clinic and Cleveland State. So hopefully we'll have, next time I'm on the radio, hopefully we'll share some good news with you about a particular trip.
Wow, wait a minute. You just dropped
There
two.
yet? Why don't you bring some food to the station and we'll all come down?
Yeah, there you go. Well, you just dropped a couple bombs there on the Cleveland. A is Cleveland Clinic, and B is Cleveland State, which is a major university. So, yeah, if you can get into Cleveland Clinic, which has, obviously they have Florida facilities as well, that would be awesome. I mean, and that makes a lot of sense that, like Mayo Clinic, Cleveland Clinic, the cancer centers around the U.S., I mean, it would be a lock for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of opportunity. Just gotta figure out what to pick, and some exciting things that the people we're meeting. They're in the business community in Cleveland. They've been there for years and years. 20, 25 plus years, not just in the restaurant business and other venture, real estate, and all that. So we're really excited with the opportunity and the meeting they had set up for me, and see what comes out of it. We don't want to put the cart in front of the horse. We'll just wait and see and explore the low-hanging fruits.
Sounds great.
Doesn't Cleveland Clinic have a facility in Florida, Greg?
Yes. In Western Florida.
Yeah, very large one. Yeah. And, but if, wow, you can get Cleveland Clinic.
Up in the part of Florida that doesn't really seem like it's Florida.
Yes, that's right. It's really from our area, from Port St. Lucie south. It's like no Southerners allowed. This is basically New York with palm trees. That's all. That's it. Well, Ghazi, hey, best of luck to you. Good luck in your trip to Cleveland, and boy, if you could pick off some of that low-hanging fruit with a huge name attached to it, that would be awesome.
Really appreciate having me on the radio. And again, look forward for a bunch of announcements in the next 2-3 weeks with our focus on healthy and tasty brands. So hopefully, again, in 3 to 4 weeks, we'll come back and share with you some good news. Really appreciate your time, and thanks again.
Sounds good, Ghazi. Ghazi Hodge, Grill It, Inc. And the stock, Michael, what is the stock symbol on Grill It?
GRLT, around 34 cents.
Okay. Very cool. That sounds
All right,
great.
Thanks again, and have a great day, gentlemen.
Okay, thanks, Ghazi.
Take care.
Ghazi Hodge, CEO at Grill It, Inc. Boy, that's, it's really fun tracking these companies, especially when, you think this one could be a biggie. I mean, I really honestly believe that they're onto something. It's Charles, good job, and you and Michael finding these guys, because I think they're really onto something.
We just looking for the content for you, Greg.
There you go.
We have a Rule 17B, of course, that paid 35,000 restricted shares to do this sort of thing.
Okay. Well, Michael, you could buy up that 37 million float overnight. I mean, you could do that. Piece of cake. Oh, just kidding.
I wouldn't have the talent to run the company.
Wow, it sounds like he's got a pretty math plan. So that's kind of neat.
Yeah, I just
Charles
can't
is right.
imagine
Charles
why
is, you're right, Charles. If they give me the material, of course I can show it to people, and he can get some establishments here in Las Vegas.
I mean, it's such a home run relative to national and international distribution of the idea.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, you look at just taking our broadcasters convention, for instance, as an example. There'll be 100,000, well, more than 100,000 people at that convention, of which I think it's around 30 or 40,000 are not from the U.S. So you can imagine that kind of exposure to Ghazi's restaurant.
And 100% of them eat.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Gee, what a percentage. Yeah. No, that's wow.
The question is, if you go to a KFC or a McDonald's or a Burger King, the calories are huge.
Oh, yeah.
And so is the sodium.
Yeah.
Ridiculously large.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Well, that's how they flavor it. So, sure. You bet. And that's got to do with salt, right? Wow. Well, and I think the fact, too, when Ghazi was talking about the fact that they just use sea salt, too, I think it's just their concepts are so natural, and it's, I'm really excited for them. Well, PrincetonResearch.com is where we can